folks, welcome back to Rule of Thumb. Today I'm bringing you my first installment in the Jar It Up January collaboration. I was invited to participate in a collaboration with 5 amazing women, and what we're doing is bringing you a canning video each day this month. Each of the 6 of us is putting out 5 videos, and one person is doing a bonus 6th video. So, the people I am collaborating with are Heather from The Needy Homesteader, Mandy from More to Life, Tina from Wilhelm's Kitchen, Angie from Angie's Pantry, and Lisa from Sutton's Days. So, I will put links to all their channels down below so you guys can go check them out as their videos come out. The person that is following me is going to be Mandy from More to Life, so look for her video tomorrow. So, without further ado, my first video is going to be Whiskey Sour Cocktail Jelly. Crazy, right? Well, here's the thing. I'm actually making this video a little early because I had to make this for a Christmas gift for an exchange with our family, because the rules this year were $20 and under, and it had to be homemade or from the heart. Well, the person that I got in the gift exchange is a 21-year-old college student, so I thought, boozy jelly. I mean, what could be better, right? So, that's how I got to this idea. The book that I got it from, let me just reach and grab this here and I can show you folks, is this. It is the Better Homes and Gardens Jams and Jellies. We may even talk about this in a future cookbook corner because there's some pretty amazing things in there. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the angle of the camera here, show you the ingredients that are going into this, then we're going to talk about what we're going to do and move along from there. So, I'll bring you back here in just a minute. Okay folks, we're back. So, let's talk about the ingredients. We'll start off with freshly squeezed lemon and lime juice. So, the recipe calls for 6 tablespoons of each, which together is 12 tablespoons, which equals 3/4 of a cup. So what I did is I just used my little juicer. I juiced some lemons first, then I juiced some limes till I got to the 3/4 of a cup. And then it calls for, see, now I caught myself off guard here because I mixed them together. So let's consult the recipe. 1.5 cups water. So 1.5 cups water, 3/4 cup juice, 2 1/4 cups. So that's what I got here. I mixed those two together. Then we've got 4 1/4 cups sugar. Now, I have this in a liquid measuring cup. I used dry measuring cups to measure it out. I'm just using this to hold it. There is a difference, folks. Make sure that you're using dry or wet measuring cups accordingly. It calls for 1/4 cup of bourbon, so I got that here. I just picked up a little bottle, so I've used this for a couple other recipes, a bourbon pecan pie that I made over Thanksgiving, and a couple other things. So it calls for liquid pectin, which I don't typically use liquid pectin, but that's what it called for, and I thought, why not? So, in the book, it says 1/2 of a 6-ounce package, 1 foil pouch of liquid fruit pectin. Well, I bought the ball, and the ball comes in 2 3-ounce pouches. So I was like, how convenient is that? So I got 1 3-ounce pouch here. Then you're going to use orange slices and maraschino cherries. Now, what you're going to do is you're actually going to put a cherry down in the bottom of the jar, and then put an orange slice in there, and then pour your jam in, and the orange slice and the cherry are going to float in the jelly. So, I think it's going to be pretty cool. So, what we're going to do, according to the directions here, is, in a 6-quart heavy pot, stir together the lime juice and lemon juice, sugar, water, and bourbon. We're going to cook it over high heat until the mixture comes to a full rolling boil, stirring constantly. Then we're going to quickly stir in the pectin, return to a full rolling boil, boil hard for 1 minute, stirring constantly, remove from heat, quickly skim off foam with a metal spoon. And then we're going to be ready to jar it up. So, because of the way my kitchen is set up, because I already have my jars in a pot with some hot water heating up to sterilize them. I have my lids and rings in a little, warm water. It's not boiling. It's just kind of not even really at a simmer, but just warm enough to warm them up. And then I have my pot on the stove to make jelly, and unfortunately that does not leave any room for a camera. So what I'm going to do is get this going, get it mixed up. I'll bring you back and show you what it looks like once it's cooked. Well, folks, I actually managed to MacGyver an angle here for you. I don't know how great it's going to be, but we're going to give it a shot. How's that sound? So, I'm grabbing myself a spatula here. I have the water, the bourbon, and the sugar and the juices in here. So we're just getting that, basically starting to get that sugar dissolved. I've got it on kind of a medium-high heat here, so we're gonna, I don't know how good this angle is for you folks, but we'll see. If it's good, I'll leave it in. If it's not, I'll cut it out. Okay, folks, now I have all the sugar dissolved, so now I've turned my heat up to high, and we want to bring this to a full rolling boil, but you want to keep stirring the whole time. So I'm just going to keep stirring, and I'll bring you back when we're to that rolling boil point. Okay, folks, so I added a little light here for you so you can hopefully get a little bit better view of this. So all the sugar is dissolved now, and I've turned my heat up to high. So what we want to do now is keep stirring it, and we want to bring this to a full rolling boil, which means that bubbles are going to form that we can't stir away. So I'm just going to keep stirring this, and I will bring you folks back when we are to that point. Okay, folks, we're back. You can see it's bubbling, and even though I'm stirring, it's not going down. So now we're going to add our pectin in. Get a little bit out of the package. I'm going to stir that in. Make sure that's fully incorporated. Bring this back up to a full rolling boil here, which shouldn't take long because we didn't add that much in there. Make sure you're scraping the bottom of your pan. You don't want any hard sugar forming on the bottom of there. Okay, I think we're back to that full rolling boil, so now we're going to set our timer for 1 minute. Oh, I knew I had it right here beside me. Alright, keep stirring. You can see there is some foam happening on there, so when this is done I'm going to skim that off before we start jarring this up. Okay, folks, our 1 minute is up. So we're going to take the heat off of this. And we're going to... Oh, see, there isn't really hardly any foam on there. So if you folks can see that, actually I think we're in pretty good shape here. Really what you're looking to skim off is any white foam. So I'm going to reposition you folks. We'll get set up to put this in the jars here, and I'll bring you back in just a minute. Okay, folks, here we go. I got a jar out here for you. I want to make sure you guys can see this here, so I want to make sure our angle's good. Alright. Looks like you can see everything there. Let's bring this in a little closer here. Good? Alright. So, now, this is what it says to do. It says, take a cherry, good clean hands. Now, it says the best thing you can do is have the orange be a little bit wider than the rim of the jar, because it'll keep the cherry trapped underneath. Okay? Does that make sense? So now, oops, as my funnels fall over, I got everything in the hot water over here. So, put our funnel on here, and we got our ladle. Let's see what happens. We're going to go to a 1/4 inch headspace. Just a little bit more in here. Now the recipe says that it goes 5 half-pint jars. I always have one extra just to be on the safe side, because you never know. Every time you do a recipe, there's just a little bit of a variant. So I'm just taking my jars right out of the hot water, I'm bringing them over here. Let's check our headspace here. Alright, we could actually do just a touch more. Because, you know, the perfect headspace is key. Okay. So, that did exactly what we wanted to do because the cherry's still on the bottom there. I'm going to make sure you folks can see that. So let's move this one back here. So you can see the cherry stayed under the orange. That's what we want. Okay. Then what we'll do is take our paper towel. I got a little vinegar here. We're going to wipe the rim just to make sure we don't have any stickiness on there. Okay. Then we'll grab our lid and ring over here. Put that on there. Okay. Fingertip tight. And now see, now our cherry floated to the top. So I don't know. I guess we're gonna see how they come out. Can you folks see this one? Let me get you in front of here. So see the cherries on the side there. So maybe we needed even bigger oranges. But we're going to start with this one and see how the next one goes. Because you know what? It doesn't have to be perfect. It's for someone you love. So you're going to just make it as good as you can do. So let's try another one. So we'll put the cherry in the bottom. Take our orange slice here. Now maybe if we wedge it down there a little bit more. I was trying to leave room for the jelly to go down in there, so maybe I don't need to do that. Alright, so see now the air bubbles are coming out from the center of the orange. Let's grab us a little skewer here and just give us a little poke here. Oh, perfect. That's what we want. So we could just the tiniest skosh more. And then we're good. Let's grab ourselves another jar here. Okay, so we're going to finish filling these jars and we're going to get them into the canner, and then we're going to bring the canner up to a full rolling boil with the lid on. These are going to process for 5 minutes, and then we will turn the burner off, let them sit for an additional 5 minutes, and then we'll pull them out. Now, okay folks, welcome back. So, we had these in the canner at a rolling boil for 5 minutes. I went ahead and turned the burner off, and then we let it sit for another 5 minutes, and now we have jelly. Now, let me bring this up close. The orange and the cherry have both went to the top. So, I'm curious to see what happens with this as it sits. Because, you know, sometimes when you have heavier stuff in there, it'll settle as it starts to cool. So, we shall see. If that is the case, I will certainly bring you folks back so you can see that. If not, this will be the last view that you see of them. It is certainly a beautiful color. I mean, the color of the jelly is gorgeous. The jars look great. Remember, don't tip your jars when you're taking them out of the canner. We're already getting some pops here. That's what we like to hear. Ping, ping, ping. If you do have a lot of water on the jar, you can just take a paper towel like this. Just set it on top. The paper towel will soak it up. You don't have to put any pressure on it. And that way it'll take it off there for you. Now, I'm going to reposition you guys and talk to you for a minute. Okay, we're back. So, I did have a little bit left, not quite a full jar. See here? So, I went ahead and put it in the jar, and I stuck it in the refrigerator while those were processing. It is already set. I mean, this was already setting as I was starting to jar it, so I had no fear on that. So let's give it a little taste test and see what we think. It is really, really tangy, like lemon head. You know, remember those candies, like that kind of tart with the sweet. Josh, you want to try some of this? It's tangy, right?
Yeah.
But you don't taste the booze.
No, I don't.
All right, come in here and say hi to everybody. Everybody else likes to see you.
Hi.
All right, there you guys got to see Josh. All right. He's been super helpful. He did all the dishes for me. He got everything cleaned up while everything was processing, like he usually does. I'm very fortunate like that. So I'm happy with the jelly. I think the jelly tastes great. I was concerned that it might be too boozy. You know, I know it cooks off when you're cooking it, but I didn't know if that flavor was going to permeate, but it doesn't at all. It's actually really, really good. So I'm actually pretty excited about that. All right, so first installment of Jarred Up January, whiskey sour cocktail jelly. So tomorrow you want to go to Mandy's channel, Mandy at More to Life. Again, the links are going to be below. She's going to be doing tomorrow's video, and I'm sure she's going to be doing something amazing. If you have not seen her channel before, you are in for a real treat. Those of you who already know and love her know exactly what I'm talking about. So go ahead and check it out. Come back and see me in 6 days, right? If there's 6 of us, it'd be 6 days. So come back and see me in 6 days. I'll have another video for you. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. Come back and see us soon. And as always, I hope you had a great day.